Chris, one of the things that I've been thinking a lot about lately as we've been talking to different leaders in the mortgage space, regional managers, area managers, division managers, whatever the case, is that a lot of them feel a little bit stuck, right? Because they've built something that is pretty substantial, right? They want to go to a place that they really believe is the future of the mortgage space because of the way a lot of mortgage contracts are written, right? Where if a leader leaves, he can't have any of his people come with him. Like they can't follow, he can't solicit them, and they're kind of in a rock and a hard place situation. And so what they're really doing is they are kind of encouraging their team to stay put, even though they don't actually believe in the place they're asking them to stay put. You probably more than anybody were in that situation. How did you handle it? And what would you tell a leader, whether they're leading 4 or 5 mortgage advisors or whether they're leading 50 branches in their organization? How can that person really get to a place where they are incredibly inspired and they believe that they're leading their team towards the future as opposed to keeping them in the present?
Yeah, so just to kind of set the frame a little bit, I had been with the same group for 8, 9, 10 years, and people that were really close friends, people that I respected from a leadership standpoint. But I found myself in a crossroads to where I was waking up every day and just having to find the energy, find the drive, find the motivation. It just wasn't there in a way that it was previously because I believed so much in what we were doing. And as I had more and more awareness around it, it started becoming apparent that I either was going to stay on the same path and listen to that story of I can't change because this is where I built my home and I built my reputation, and I can't transition any of the team even if they wanted because of the honestly because of the legal risks that was associated with it. And so I started thinking about, hey, if I get 5 more years down the road and I look back, am I going to be proud of where I am? If I get 10 years, 15 years, and I'm at the end of my career potentially, I look back, like, is this truly the legacy that I want to have left from a work standpoint? Is this truly what I want to get up every day for the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years and do? And it really started to anchor in. And I got to the point where I said, you know what? Even if I have to tear this down to the studs, even if I have to start all over, I would rather do that than look back and regret and wonder what I could have potentially done, wonder what the fulfillment could have been like if I actually would have re-anchored into something I believe in. So it started me on this path of really defining, like, what is it that I want? What is it that's going to inspire me again? What is it that if I go through that next journey, that next chapter, whatever that path is in my career, and I look back and I say, wow, I really put it out there. I really gave it everything I got, and I'm proud of what I did. It helped bring clarity to the fact that I was so misaligned because I wasn't the best version of myself. I wasn't making as big of an impact as I believed that I was able to, purely because of the environment that I was in, the model that I was in. And that set me on the journey of getting more and more clear around what would it take, and going through the exercise of what if it was just me and I had to start all over? That's a scary, scary proposition. But as soon as I actually started working through that, and it was like, if that's the case, here's what I'm going to have to do. And here's what the build's going to be like. Here's what the fulfillment's going to be like. And it wasn't an easy process, Ryan. I'll tell you, like, it wasn't something that I was just like, yeah, for sure, let's do this. It was something that I had a lot of coaching that I went through around this. I did a lot of time self-reflection and really, really, really got clear around what it is that I wanted. And once that happened, there wasn't another option. It wasn't the option of, I guess I can just stay here. It was like, are you really going to regret for the rest of your life what you could have been, what you could have done, because this is the safe path? Because you're scared of what happens if nobody follows you? What happens if you can't bring people that even want to come because of fear? And it was like, if that happens, I'll figure it out, but at least I'll believe in what I'm doing while I'm figuring it out. And during the past 5 years, I've had more what we would call challenges, whether it's industry, economy related, whatever else you want to call it. But I've had more fun than I've had at any point in my career. I believed constantly in what we're doing. I wake up and it's not, gosh, can I find the energy today? Can I find the drive? Can I find the reasons to get excited and go put on a great face for my team? It's, I truly believe in what we're doing. And when I'm sharing it with our team, or when I'm helping to lead with the team, it's not that I'm having to question, like, boy, am I really showing up as the right version of myself? Or do I really believe in what I'm sharing? It's like, I know without doubt that I believe in what I'm doing now. And it has been like, it's been one of those that like there is zero regrets around.
Yeah, that is a unique characteristic trait to have enough courage and confidence in yourself and your future to really to realize a short-term sacrifice for a long-term better outcome. I wish more people would have that perspective today, but I think again a lot of people are they've built themselves into a corner. What would you do? Let's say that you are at a company that you don't think it's the future of the industry. Like they're not innovating, they're not heavily leaning into technological advancements. There's really no shared value proposition. There's no culture of community or collaboration. But you have built a 500 million billion dollar leadership group. What would you say if some of your people came to you and said, "Hey, Chris, do you genuinely believe this is the right place? Is this the mortgage company? Is this the mortgage partnership that we want to have for the next decade? Is this the right place to be?" In your heart of hearts, if you didn't know that was a hell yes, or even worse, you probably thought it was a no, how would you answer that to try and be in integrity and also knowing that, them staying with you and your organization is integral to your income and to your company's success. So how would you balance that as a leader?
Yeah, that's honestly the place that I found myself in. And I didn't believe that I was acting out of integrity because I was really searching for myself what it in and what it is that I wanted to pursue and how I truly wanted to show up in the environment that I wanted to do it in. So I knew something felt off. And honestly, that's what got me to initially start thinking about it. I was honestly going through this whole process of questioning, is this really the best place for me as a leader? Right? Like maybe there are some people on my team that it actually was the best place for, and that's okay. But I needed the best place where I could truly lead and make a difference and make an impact based on what I believe in versus just showing up as a manager and checking the boxes and going through the motions. That wasn't fulfilling, right? And so once I identified that, it was one of those that it was a non-negotiable for me because I wasn't going to be out of alignment with my integrity and tell people something that I didn't believe in myself. And that was the catalyst that kicked me into gear to say, okay, if not this, then what? What's it going to take to make you really show up authentically and in a way that you believe, in an inspired way, so you can inspire others?
Yeah, what we're really asking people to do is kind of an existential flex, right? It's to realize that if you continue to go down a path that is not what you believe in, it's not your just cause, it's not going to be massively impactful, you're going to end up having a pretty bad outcome. But if you can understand that doing something short term that may feel uncomfortable or nervous or uncertain, but it's what you believe in your gut and what you know is true for the future, that it'll not only be great for you, but it'd be great for all your people. What's the first step you would tell a leader to take if they were in that conflicted place right now, right? Where they
Yeah.
felt like they were leading their team in circles and didn't know how they were going to take ground or make progress because they feel like they're stuck in a corner. What would be the first step that they should take?
Yeah. So the first thing that for me was incredibly impactful was to get clear about what is it that I'm looking for? What is that environment? What are the key pillars? Right? There's all the shiny objects out there that you've been around, you've seen the way that a mortgage advisor will get all of a sudden starstruck and they're like, oh my gosh, I've got to go to this organization because of this. And it's a shiny object. The way that I approached it, I was like, okay, what are the core fundamental pillars that I absolutely believe in that I would want to build a foundation off of? And once you get clear about that, then you can start analyzing and evaluating where I am today. How much does it align with that? And for me, that exercise was super valuable because it was not a night and day, but it was a pretty polar alignment to what I really believed in and what I wanted to do from a leadership standpoint, what I wanted to do from a just cause standpoint, and really feeling like the impact that I could make was not going to be to its fullest potential. So going through that exercise gave me the clarity. And then I started going through what if the worst case scenario that I thought of happened and it was just me and I have to start over from ground zero? How would I do it? And what that did for me, and again, I got very tactical, What do my days look like? What are the activities that I need to do? What is success in 3 months? What is success in 9, 12 months? And once I did that, it took all the uncertainty and like in your mind how you can kind of manifest something into this far bigger, scarier situation than it really is, because I actually had a tactical plan and I said, what's the probability of that worst case scenario happening? Okay, it's a 10% probability. What's a more likely probability? And as I started looking through that and really evaluating, I was like, I can do this. And not only can I do this, it's going to give me the environment, it's going to give me the community, it's going to give me the kind of just inspiration that I need to really do it in a way that I believe in. And that for me was one of those things that I had this, it was a blocker that I didn't realize how strong it was, but it was the unknown that was holding me back. And when I was able to put clarity around what the unknown would mean, then it was just go to work. How do you solve it?
Yeah, that's super helpful. I think that step-by-step strategy of going through a fear setting exercise is super helpful. I appreciate you spending the time to chat with us about this. If you're a leader listening to this call, or if you're an aspiring leader, I think my takeaway is if you're not inspired when you wake up to go do incredible work and to help set this industry on the right path and help your teammates accomplish more and be more impactful and ultimately create a more fulfilling environment for yourself and your team, take some of those steps, right? Really get introspective. Don't chase the short term win. And the short term win is, well, I'm making money today, but tomorrow's coming. And I would much rather be building for tomorrow than trying to hang on to today. And Chris, you were an awesome example of somebody who effectively walked away from probably one of the best leadership situations that you could have been in financially to approach or to try and create the best leadership situation you could be in from an impact and alignment perspective. And so I just want to say thank you for sharing this time with us today. And hopefully you'll make an impact on some leaders that are listening to this.
Thanks, Ryan. Good to see you.